Morning, team. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Hope you're good. Wild moves happening in the market right now. All right, as the rotation continues, you can see if we just move to the daily here we go. Okay, and we remain still inside the weekly range. All right, so if we think about the Monday count, Monday, Tuesday, set the high low of the week. We had continuation yesterday, which is what we played, to the downside, right? The break of the low volume node, which has for some reason gone missing. Where is our volume? Oh, we're going to have to put this back on, apparently. So let's see if we can get the anchor to go back on from January last year. Let that develop. Okay, so we found a bid. All right, false break underneath, came back to the EMAs, closing right back at this bundle of EMAs, 50 and 20, and this grey box is a low volume node. Don't know why the volume isn't showing, but for whatever reason, it isn't right now. It's struggling to show it. And we start to drive higher, okay, in this Globex session, and we're coming right up to where we started all of this move yesterday. All right, so right back into the Wednesday open, Wednesday high. If we can find a bid above that and we base, all right, there's a chance to come and take this out. You can see the Bollinger Band is desperately trying to start turning. And we have all these stops up here at 26 or 125. That's kind of the area that we're looking at. The easiest thing or the nicest play today will be if they stop rotating and they just offer a dip somewhere into sort of this 830s would be good. All right, something like this for a continuation trade higher. But we will just have to see what these guys offer us today. This is a big move off the lows. All right, it's a 300-point rally. Why? Well, we've had earnings this morning. SMCI had good earnings, so because of that, off Taiwan Semiconductors, you're starting to see a rotation back into the chip names. So they're starting to get some relief. So the likes of Nvidia, etc., are starting to get a bit of a bid. So we will go over that as we go through the individual names. Once we look at the profile on the hourly, we can see what we've done here. So this is your developing weekly profile. You can see yesterday, right, we failed outside the previous 2-week range right here. Right, we were short yesterday morning from here for this move down. We've come all the way down, almost tested this old naked point of control, which we have back tested already, so it's no longer naked. And we found a bid, and we closed back inside. All right, back inside to the current weekly value area low and the previous week point of control. Globex has reclaimed it all, and we're back up to the current week point of control. I mean, it's a mess, folks. Like, if you don't think this is a mess, this is a mess. All right, this is a mess. This is a massive liquidity build out. All right, we need a break either side for a continuation. Otherwise, we're going to keep doing this rotation. So we have to be careful. I would say it's a pretty bullish move overnight. The key part coming into this big, huge POC here, right here. So we're getting stuck. You can just call it sort of 900s and just above. The easiest move in my mind will be a dip. Now, I am watching the edge of this shelf into 860s. Interested if they held this shelf. If not, down into previous week value area low. And do we catch a bid around there? 850 to 800, let's call it. Do we catch a bid around there and start to do this for an upside move? If this is just all too thin and too much of a reaction and we instantly lose, all right, if we instantly lose previous week value area high, and we stay heavy, then we're going to get this again, and we're going to rotate all the way back down into the 700s. All right, so those are the two things I'm looking at. Do we catch a bid between sort of 850, let's call it, 860, 870, and 800s or 820s? Let's just call it 8. Let's measure this out. 870 to 830s. Do we catch a bid in there on a pullback? Or do we stay heavy? The other option is if we keep driving, then we're going to have to look for a pullback to hold point of control. And don't really love that trade, I'm going to be honest. I'm not leaving ourselves much room. But there we go. That's what we're looking at. So either this move here, maybe a little false break and something like this, maybe a shove this morning that's absorbed. If we just keep shoving, you want to be very careful buying into this because at some point they'll run the stops and then they collapse the whole thing. If we lose previous week value area high and back test it and stay heavy, then this move back down into previous week point of control, previous day value area high, etc., for the rotation. You can see flow zones on the hourly are trying to turn positive, or they have turned positive, but we are extended away from them. overnight, what did we get? Well, Asia went sideways. And then we got into London, which started to rally, and we've pushed that rally higher now based off earnings. Okay, let's have a look at some of the broader market and what we're seeing. You can see the strong trend here developing, even if you just wanted to put a trend line on. All right, we are very, very strong upside right now. Do not be fighting that trend right now. All right, yes, we're coming into a key area. I agree. Previous day high, previous week high above, into previous point of control. Yes, lots of resistance, but we're very bullish. You're not seeing this market roll over. And you're seeing the same in the ES. So here's the ES. And obviously this has relative strength overall. All right, if we compare where we are on a daily, ES looking to break out. Every time it comes up into these kind of levels, it's being sold off. The question is, will it do it again? This is 1, 2. This is the third time visiting up here. All right, dips have been absorbed. We talked about it yesterday. There was a buyer on the tape all day yesterday. Even when we moved lower, there was someone trying to absorb the tape. Well, if he's held on to his position, if that was institutional buying, then he's very comfortable right now looking for a breakout, isn't he? So we need to be aware of that for all those moves higher. But yeah, it looks comfortable here. Let's have a quick look at the ETFs. Think about the levels. I would imagine there's some gamma exposure at 695 on the spiders. And we can mark out gap fill underneath. Where's that? At 90. So gap fill at 90s. Will be nice if it offered that. I very much doubt it wants to do that today, but we will see. Same on the Qs, right? Coming into some big levels, reclaimed the 25s, and that gap fill basically down to 1950s. I just can't see this market wanting to do that. I mean, it's possible. We've done it before, and we did it a lot last week. This will be an instant buy opportunity if we even dare to come that low, but I find it somewhat hard to believe. Dixie rallying as well this morning. That's a strong move off the Dixie, trying to get back to that 100 spot. If we have a look at the VIX, all right, it got crushed. That false break of 18 we talked about, it got crushed back down into some old support here. And he's moved all these again. Okay, so if we start losing a bid on Dixie, expect this market to continue to move higher. Let's have a look at MAG, because that's the interesting part this morning. All right, you can see this dip. This undercut here, this dip got absorbed yesterday. We are potentially building this liquidity to try and break. Apple has been one of the weaker names, but we'll see. We'll see. We're still just stuck inside this, right? But if we can get back over the 60s, maybe Apple's got a shot of like starting to catch a bid. It's been weak for a little while here. You can see the turnaround starting to happen. Amazon, the same, right? There's your box, we break, we retest, we break, we retest, we stay heavy, we flush yesterday, we go sideways. Here's your 2-leg. Can it get back inside this box? That's the big question mark right now. Can we find acceptance back inside some of these ranges that we've broken out from? Goog looks good. That is a strong look. This is the kind of thing that I would like to see. All right, that's a strong look from Goog. All right, false break, came back, retested this old box right here. All right, found a bid. That looks pretty good to me. Goog showing some strength. Meta a little bit weaker here, still boxed in down here. All right, so the rest of the market, remember, has already started to do this. So Meta still weak, still relative weakness on Meta for those of you trading it. But we are gapping up, but we have a little bit more weakness there. Microsoft trying to do the move. This is what we've just talked about. It's failed from here, and that was from a bigger failure point in a downtrend. Can it now start to hold bids and try and break out? Big question mark over that. And Nvidia, these are going to be the important ones. Catching a bid off SMCI, like I talked about. All right, 180, big level. All right, false break so far, and it's a decent gap up, $2-3 gap up. So we'll be watching for a break of right here. All right, 88s will be a decent break, even where we are right now, really, 86s and 88s. But if we get through 88s, or if we hold a bid through 87s and 88s, then we're back into that old range, which will be important, even if it just closes up there. The important part is what happens when we get up there. But yes, catching a bid, like I said, off SMCI, the earnings coming through this morning. Tesla, same story. So much of these having the same story. There's the box, there's the failure, there's the undercut, there's the pivot, there's the hold. Can we get back inside? That is the question. If we fail that and retest, market will maybe roll over this squeeze this morning. So that's what we're watching for this morning. All right, that's what we're looking at this morning. We can have a look at some of the broader names that probably caught a bid as well. There you go. Oracle finding a bid off that SMCI. I'd imagine AMD as well. Yes, AMD catching a bid. So all the semiconductors catching bids here this morning, which is going to help tech. I'd say the broader market, I think, did JP Morgan have earnings this morning? Pretty sure they did. Let's have a quick look there. Pretty sure they had earnings. Yeah, they did. I think they beat as well, or they've got them coming. What's this? Yeah, 5% rise. Yeah, they beat as well. So a slight gap up there. So you might get some breadth moving with it as well. Given that if the banks start to go, then ES will look good with broader moves in the market. All right, let's zoom this back in. Let's get us set up here. All right, we're already breaking out. Wow, look at this, even since I've been talking. Jeez, man. Market does not want to slow down. I would not want to be buying the top up here today. It's just one of those. If it goes without me, it goes without me. That will be it. All right, folks. So that's kind of the setup. I would love a retest of this area here. All right, this is areas of interest for me to bid off. It very well might not offer it. All right, we're coming to a bump in the road here. I'd love to be a buyer down here. I'd even consider some of these areas here. Otherwise, I've got to wait for it to break, hold, and go. Those are the opportunities today. You know, it's unfortunate, folks, but we are driving. You know, we are 400 points higher than where we closed yesterday. I don't really want to buy an extension like this without good reason. So that's what I'm thinking about and looking at. Hopefully that helps you guys. But this is in a squeeze. This is definitely a giant squeeze. All right, 2 minutes here before the open. Go through your prep work. If you've got any visualization you need to do, breath work, anything like that, make sure you're sized properly. Make sure you're not chasing this market. Make sure you're feeling mentally and physically fit and able to trade. If not, back off and just watch, right? The market will be here tomorrow. Don't be forcing anything. Yeah, I don't trade with music in the background because I think it's probably annoying for you lot. That's the main thing. Definitely wouldn't be trading with any music that I used to play in the background. That would be very off-putting. Okay, let's just give this market 90 seconds or so, whatever it needs. Morning all. Not going to be able to go through the all the good morning calls. Too many of you in here. Morning, Bella. Hope you're doing well, Bella. Hope the trip's going good. Smash that like button nice and early, please, folks. We will be doing some Apex giveaways as always. So let's smash that like button nice and early. Codes are down below. FCT for all the prop firms other than Take Profit Trader. You can just use code FlowZone there for 40% off. All right, open coming up here, folks. Just over 30 seconds. If we're lucky, we get that pullback I'm looking for. Would be nice. I'd like that pullback before we get up to those 26Ks, ideally. Starting now, which is good. Hopefully we can get a nice flush to get involved in. This level here, 835. Make sure I've got everything marked out. All right, 3, 2, 1. Here comes the open, folks. Here comes the open. And let's see. Are they going to keep squeezing, or are they going to be kind and give me a pullback to get involved in? And here comes the squeeze. Straight upside, missing taking out those highs in that first drive. Here we go. Come on, baby. Down you come for me. Be kind. Be kind. Instantly absorbed here. We want lower. Watching ES into PDH here. There's PDH on ES. Let's see if we can come a little bit lower still first, please, market. If they reclaim New York, I'm going to have to think about taking a long. There's the push into New York. No reclaim yet, just a shove in. ES bouncing off PDH like we just talked about. No rush here. Just wait and see if we either drift lower or if we do reclaim New York, I might be forced to buy high. It's not what I want to do, but definitely don't want to be left behind today. But hopefully we can drift lower first. Have a look at the mag. All the mag gapping up. So I keep getting stuck at this New York Open so far, this red block. All right, we keep getting stuck there, not finding acceptance over it yet. I'm not looking to play the short down into here. I want to wait to see if it can offer me the long. You guys do what you feels right for you. I'm not looking to play the short. I would much rather look to absorb a long. Still not through that New York Open. I think if they get through that New York Open and they base above, there's a chance that they squeeze and take out the highs. But I'd much rather it came lower. It's going to offer a much better risk reward. Morning, Tyson. All right, watching here. Here's the New York Open test again. Still stuck there, so definitely some passive selling up here so far. I think we will probably squeeze through it once we go. Watching for a trigger, still stuck there, still no base above, still getting sold into it, still a passive seller. Google flat. Just zoom this out, look at the rest of the market. Nvidia, the big winner this morning, over 2% up. Here's the New York Open again. Still can't get through it. Still testing, trying to get through those 20s. Break above there, and we can potentially squeeze. If it can break above and hold, here it goes. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Are we going to get some movement through here now? Can we base and absorb? Lots of buyers coming in here, but not seeing a base yet. So still waiting. Outlier, delta at 21s. Still no base above. I want to force my way in, just waiting patiently here. You can see the importance of that blue line. That is your New York Open. That's where they keep getting stuck. Buyers keep coming up at here and trying to force the way higher, and they can't base above. Well, if they based above, I'd be willing to potentially look for the move. But really, I want to be a buyer down here. It's the best opportunity if possible. They're having another go up here in these 20s again. Google gone red now. Oracle gone red. Sorry, just having a little look around at the ETFs. VIX still dying. Nice and patient. I want to wait and see if we come down here. Maybe some of you are looking to play this short down to there. It's a possible move. It's not what I'm looking for. I want to be a buyer in the market if we can rotate down, because we're gapping up over the previous day's value. So I want to try and be a buyer. Sellers just got caught at those lows at 88. I'll tell you that right now. 197 lot just got caught at the low of day there, or current lows of 88 in the New York session. So if they don't break below that, there is a squeeze potential. He's right at 88, that big seller. They need to get under that for him to feel comfortable. They're going to have another attempt down here, are they? Well, hopefully we can get down into here. It'd be very nice if we could. What is the edge of this that we talked about earlier? 60 or 70, wasn't it? 870s down into 830s is a sort of level. So here's the 870. This is the edge of the big point of control node. And if we lose this, then hopefully we come down into 830s, maybe even deeper if we get very lucky. All right, Goog's starting to sell now. So Goog's starting to sell off. 0.75% down. Rest of the market still looks okay. Here's the 70s test. Can we come down into the 30s and below? Yes, still holding up against, is that previous day high? I think it is. No, it must be previous week because we gapped. So 70s finding a bid so far, like we talked about pre-market. If we lose 70s, there's a chance for it to move to 30s. There are some bids at 50s and 45s. But this 70s, just based on the current weekly profile, the developing profile is important. I'm going to get rid of this trend line because it's just in my way. I can't see what I need to see. And I think if we get back over 90s, there's a chance to move higher. Watching this carefully. That's where that big seller came in, remember. There's the move to 90s. All right, can we base above and squeeze? So there's the attempt to go through 90s. Still trapping buyers up there. Still a passive seller here at 900s. No base above still. So same as earlier. Buyers are attempting, but not getting a base. Not going to force my way into this. I'm going to be very, very patient. What was the London high? 30s. All right. What's the edge of this? 830. Yeah, I really like that area. I like where we are now, and I like 830s. Both of those have opportunities. They're trying for the 90s again, and they're going to try and push 900s if they can base it up above 90s, which they still are unable to do. So sellers still dragging this market down. How are we looking on the mag? Oracle trying to find a bid. Google trying to find a bid. Here's the drive back down towards the 70s again. Still waiting here, just patiently waiting here. SPY into its VWAP, by the way. Qs are under the VWAP, coming to the 5-day now. Almost into this level of interest. If we lose this level of interest, there's a long way down. So we really, if we're going to be uber bullish today, I'd want to see them absorb between where we are now and there, really. Feels slow, man. Maybe it's just me. Feels slower today. Where's that delta? 90 is a big level. Still a big level for a break above and hold. Still not been able to do it. ES trying to absorb its 5-minute flow zones at that previous week high. See if we can get into that level of interest. 60s now. What have we got on the tape? We got anyone hanging out at 30s, 800s and 845 so far. Not much at 30s. Not a little bit of action, but not much. SPY still holding VWAP for now. Put some volume on here. All right, watching these 90s, 80s and 90s, this block here. If we start to drive through 90s, that's the level where the delta keeps building up. Here's the attempt back to 80s. Can it get through 90s? I'm watching 90s as a trigger. If we're going to base above and hold, I'm interested. Here's the 90s release. Okay, in, looking for the tap of value area high at 10s. Can we get acceptance through this now? I'm watching New York Open. So just scalping my way through this. I'd want all dips to hold 90s now if I'm going to scalp through this. And let's see, we're at value area high on the session, 08s. I want to see if we can get acceptance through that. I know it looks different to you on here. I'm just judging it off my NinjaTrader right now. Value area high on NinjaTrader is 908s. I need to find acceptance above that for a squeeze out back towards the 960s. And really, we've got to get through those 920s again. So this dip here needs to hold, otherwise I'm out, and it would just be a scalp. That 20s was the trigger. Sorry, the 80s was the trigger like we talked about. Okay, cutting this now. So just a scalp to start the day. What do we get there? 30 points or something. Let this build out more. Back to POC on the day. Market doesn't know what it wants to do right now. Microsoft's gone flat. So this is the problem. You've got chips going okay. The rest of the market does not look good. Apple's gone red on the day. Google's 0.25% down on the day. Microsoft's flat on the day. I'll give you a readout. Tesla 0.71% up. Nvidia's still pushing 2.24% up. Remember, 88 break is the key. It's almost there. It's not too far away. Microsoft 0.07% up. Meta 0.44% up. Google 0.20% down. Amazon 0.60% up. Apple 0.02% down. Flat to red on the day. This is the problem. It's the rotation right now. SPY still at its VWAP, still at 5-minute flow zones, still has 5-day underneath for protection. Sellers failed to break lower there, worth noting. Sellers definitely failed to break lower there. Okay, 30s again, possible here if they can base above 80s and 90s. This is the edge. You can see this outlier delta keeps stepping in at 90s. We're not getting follow through over it. You have to be patient today. If we're going to be a buyer, you've either got to join when the Momo's there or wait for it to drift lower into the zone. What I don't want to do is be buying the high of day, but I don't want to miss the move either. So it's a tricky one. You can see value area low keeps developing here, and we're not finding acceptance lower right now. Remember, we are moving value higher from yesterday. We're back inside the current week's value. And we talked about there's 70s pre-market, or 70s down to 30s as a key level based on current weekly developing value. They're going to have another go here by the looks of it. Value area high on the session is 900. So the question is, can they get back above that? Yeah, New York VWAP is set to 930, set to the 930 open. All right, we're right at this level at 90s. Can we find acceptance through here now and start driving? Look, I'm interested in this, but need to be very careful. We cannot get through these 900s yet. If we start getting through 900s, we can look at the New York Open 920s. And if we get through that, we can look at a really nice squeeze out. So we are now basing above that 80s, the 90s, which is good. We need to get back through the 900s, through value area high, which is 906, and find acceptance over 24. So looking long here to see if we can get a continuation squeeze higher here. You need to be aggressive with stops today because this market is not showing momentum yet. Here we go. Beautiful. There's the New York Open. Let's see if we can really start squeezing now. Lovely. So through value into the New York Open, this level here, we need to find acceptance above this now. If we find acceptance above this New York Open, it means all the cash players will be positive and we can look for this drive. All right. So we're long from here. We're looking for this now for ads. So the dip today was 70s to 30s. We talked about pre-market. Really good. His previous week close. So you can trim some into him. You can reload if this next dip holds. Market catching a big mag starting to go green, which is good. If we can hold above New York Open, it'd be good, but definitely above 910s would be ideal. Above 910s would be ideal here. Really nice. All right, let's see if we can start squeezing out here. Really good. Come on, market. Let's do it. Let's be nasty. Let's trap all these shorts. Really good. Let's go, baby. All right, looking for a squeeze out through high of day. And let's see if we can hold on to this now, get through this grey box and see if we can get all the way up into here. That would be the best scenario, but we're going to trim on the way and pay ourselves. So if you go back to earlier this morning, I was talking about the 70s to 30s dip, the 70s to 30s dip. And that was all because of the current week value. All right, current week value. We had a big node here and we're holding. So trimming some into this, please. Do not be greedy because if they want to fail this, they will. Beautiful. That delta at 90 was key, right? Once we got back above the 90s, I needed 2 attempts there. but we got it. And that's where we've now moved point of control now in sort of 87, 90s and 87 on the day. So nice, decent move there, not too bad. 50, 60 points, we'll take it. And we're only, 15 minutes into the day. If we can't hold POC, I'm not willing to rebid on it. So my POC is different to this, what you're looking here, right here, this level here. We need to hold this. We need to hold this low volume node and this. If it can't hold this, I'm not interested in longs. I'll let it come back down to here. If we can hold that, I'll consider rebidding here, looking for this. Just be careful because we're in the middle of that 15-minute orb. Yeah, lots of you grabbing it with me. Nice work, folks. W's in chat if you got a piece of that. Not bad. I can show you my scorecard. Start date. All right, just two accounts. All right, starting to build on that POC. The 10s. Would like to see us get back above that New York Open. No worries, guys. Yeah, nice work. Nice work. That all came from planning it pre-market, right? That came from the plan of pre-market, understanding that this was potentially an area to buy in if we're going to be very aggressive. All right, so there's the leg down. There's the pullback. There's the squeeze. Can this pull back and hold now for acceptance higher? We don't know, but we've positioned long for it. We don't know what the market's going to do in truth. We can position for it. We don't know what it's going to do. We have to put risk on if we're going to make money. If we lose this, though, let me do it. If we lose this, though, then I'm re-entering down here, or I'm interested in re-entering down there, I should say. Mag really doesn't know what it wants to do. It's the one thing. Nvidia now through the 88s, 3% up on the day. So Nvidia having a really good drive. Chips look good. AMD 5% up on the day. Oracle lagging behind. That has been the weakest one of the bunch for a while. People worried about debt issues there. Be nice if this market could just make a decision. When I look at that daily, I just think it looks absolutely awful, doesn't it? Not necessarily today's chart, but just the last. I mean, I'd say all the way back to the early December, the last 2 months look terrible. They look terrible. Okay, back to this New York Open. Can they base above New York Open, above value area high, re-squeeze out and really start to go for the day? Can we get above all this and start to go for the day? At the moment, it's struggling. I would not be holding on to longs if we lose 90s here. 890s, that sort of delta area. You do not want to lose that area. You lose that area, it probably means we're going to take out lower day. Here's the 90s test. QQQ back to VWAP. ES above its VWAP. To these 900s. Tapes asleep here this morning. POC just above at 10s. It's protecting that now. We can't get back above that. So I'm not really interested in this dip here at the moment. Here's that sort of 90s test again. Mag doesn't look good. I don't think I'm going to touch this for a bit and just let this do whatever it is it wants to do. It looks nasty. It looks nasty right now. Maybe they come down for these 830s. To these 70s. opening range low is 50s, 30s is an area of interest, 24-hour VWAP is all the way down at 800s. What do you want to do, market makers? Vic's trying to find a bid at 1560s. Here we go. So moving lower, so leaving this alone like we talked about. Once it lost 90s, I was not interested in holding in a thing in this. No interest. We can have a think about how we act down here now into previous week value area high. But we wouldn't want to lose that. If we lose that, I'd say there's a good chance we trade 740s. So if we lose that, we're probably going to trade 740s. So don't want to just bid against this, especially if the market's going to go back into a rotation again like it has, I don't know, the last week or so that you guys have been trading it. Mag starting to not look so pretty here. Apple just about holding on. Amazon just about holding on. Google now 0.62% down. Meta 0.07% down. Microsoft 0.30% down. They cannot make up what they want to do with this market as the rotation just continues day after day after day. The truth is, we have not been able to print above a key level since November 5th. And we haven't been able to duck under a key level since, well, December 17th. We've been stuck really since then, just stuck sideways. I'd argue even all the way back to sort of November 25th. Just stuck sideways. Probably a range trader's paradise right now. There's no Bookmap settings, guys. I don't understand this. I say it every day. Just use... Why do you need a setting on Bookmap? Bookmap's showing you what's happening inside the candles. You don't need to change anything, really. You really don't. The only thing I change on Bookmap is my DOM. Big buyer keeps stepping in here, and if he doesn't get his way, he's going to become the liquidity to move lower. So let's see. Back inside point of control now, back inside value. I'm going to test these 890s again, 880s, 890s maybe. That was the pivot. Remember where I said I don't want to be long if we start breaking that. They've held this dip in front of previous week value area high right now. It just looks a bit ugly to me, if I'm honest with you. Testing this 80 and 90 we talked about. That's where we broke down from. We're midpoint of the range. It's not very pretty. So here's the 90s test. This is where we broke down from. Do they resell this again? If not, if they cause a squeeze, we're going to test 900s, 915s, and New York Open. They're still trying to sell these 90s like we talked about. Testing these 90s. I don't really fancy the long in this now. Second attempt of this. This is the same trade we took earlier. I think I'm actually going to wait. I do not want to get caught in this. So we've just hit that next shelf, the 900s. Next stop is 25s again. They're trying. They're trying to lift it again. Mac's trying to rotate again. Apple's trying to go red to green. Oh my God, what are you doing, market makers? Let's see. I actually want to join if we squeeze in base. I don't want to play midpoint of range. Let's see if we can squeeze in base. I'm really interested. Big buyer stepping in here. Back to this New York Open now. 25's next level. That's the New York Open. Can we get over that and value area high? And can we push value on the day higher? I don't know, folks. All I know is that this is messy. This is messy. Hands off mouse for me. You can see how the profile's developing now. I'm going to remove this. I know this is here, but it's just clogging up a bit too much. So getting stuck at this node again. So these 90s to 900s, 910s is the rotation right now. Buyers really, they want to hold this dip. They should have held it last time. This is what I was talking about. They have to hold this level here. Why can't you draw it on me? You have to hold this here, right, for this. If they lose this, we come lower again, right? This is what we're building. You're looking to grab that. If they can find acceptance and hold this and this, then everyone in here will get caught. If we lose this and we keep digging down, this is where they're going to want to test. So you've got to be like, see money, take money. Look at the EMAs, look at VWAP, everything's flattening out. It's not a very pretty day right now. We've had some nice trades this morning. I think two attempts it took. Made some good money. Don't be forcing it. We're still very early in the day. New hour coming up in 5 minutes time. New hour, new 4 hour. And we can think about what happens next once we get that maybe. So back to the 90s, back to this node, 83-ish. I'd say 90 down to 80s is where bulls need to step in. If they fail to step in here, then I think they're going to be in trouble again. Right onto that node again, like we just talked about. This is where they have to step in. If they don't do that, I think there's more of a flush in the market coming. Grabbing a coffee? Yeah, I don't blame you. 3 minutes until the new H4. Actually, more like 2 minutes now. So they're trying to bid here, like we just talked about. Point of control now here, though, so it's fair value on the session. We've got a tight range right now, guys. We've got a 109-point range this morning in the New York session. And I'd say most of that range has been happening around where we are. So we're not finding too much acceptance lower, and we're not driving higher. We're just building out volume right now. If we think about the New York session, it's just standard D-shape, right? D-shape profile, range so far. Until we find acceptance below or above, we are just rotating. Most of the volume is taking place from 25. I mean, technically down to 72, but I'd include it down to there. So, you know, you got like 50 to 75 points range. That's all we're looking at right now in this session. There's not much to play with. You can let it develop. Back to POC again. Just over 30 seconds to this new H4. Your VP looks different. I didn't change anything either, but I don't know. Maybe just a bug. Maybe just need to hit reset on it. Have a look at the breadth out of it. Healthcare getting hit this morning. Eli and Lilly, big loser. Might be the weakest one in the market right now. BSX, Eli Lilly, the whole healthcare sector is red. So that's dragging ES down. Yeah, lost that same level again now. Here's the new H1, H4. I'd say, yeah, those 900s are a big level. The H1 transition, 95. 895 is a big, big level. So back to point of control again. I know it doesn't look like it for you, but my POC is here on NinjaTrader. All right, so I'm just reading NinjaTrader right now. We cannot get through that 890. It's been the level all day. It's been an over-under level all morning so far. How do I know to enter a trade? Well, it needs to fit my system. At the moment, we've got flat EMAs. We're inside a D-shaped profile. We're not seeing momentum. We're seeing sideways action. So it's not what I like to trade. If you're a range trader, maybe it's what you like. But for me, it's not what I like. I like a continuation or a big failure. I don't like sideways. So my EMAs are flat. It's possible if we start to lose this, they come back down here and look to tag into here. Remember, the trade today was this to here, I think. I think that was it. I think that's all we've taken. 2 attempts at it. Maybe this attempt and this attempt. Leaving this alone now. We're starting to potentially break down into here, and then I'll see how we respond if we get down there. Mag cannot make its mind up, honestly. It's one of the big problems right now. We've been rotating out the mag for a couple weeks and back into like small caps and stuff, which is why you're seeing bids on RTY. But you know, we were short yesterday on the Qs because we were the weaker asset. We're long today on the Qs because we're the stronger asset. Qs almost 1% up. The rest of the market, you know, ES 0.5% up, YM 0.42% up, RTY 0.73% up. But we can't get going. The gap's just too big to sustain right now, by the looks of it. You think we come to 800s? I mean, yeah, that's the box we've got lined out. It's very, very possible. It's very, very possible. Market's gone to sleep. We're gonna have to play a game or something, guys. If we're gonna stay inside this opening range, we're gonna have to do something else. Oh my gosh! There's your opening range. There's your D shape. We are just stuck. Hey. Did anyone play long overnight? What a squeeze that was! What a squeeze that was! If you got that. Are we heading towards VWAP? Well, we're stuck between the two VWAPs, aren't we? There's your 24-hour VWAP. There's the New York VWAP. Point of control shifted lower again now. So 70 now POC. Trying to test those 90s again. Can it find acceptance over 90s? Can we push value area high up today? Nvidia starting to squeeze. Just got another alert here. So it's back through the 88s again. Question is, can it hold up here on Nvidia and find acceptance? We cannot get over these 90s. It's the same level I've been talking about all day. This level right here. Right, we've held no dip into it. Right, we've squeezed through it, flushed through it, squeezed back through it. We cannot base above it. Market, right, to get going has to get back above this and find acceptance. At the moment, every push into here is being sold, right? So it's possible they're going to do this with it. I'm not going to trade that because you're trading at not a great location in my mind. There's a seller trying to walk this down now. He's just moved from 80 to 75. He just got absolutely wrecked there. Filled now. There we go. Let's see what he does. Does he step back on and tape again? Or is he going to get squeezed out? see all this volume building out. I'm just leaving this alone until we leave this volume and we see what we do. Maybe we come down to this blue box and the value area high from previous week. Maybe we stay heavy under that and we start rotating in previous week's value again. I'd rather we didn't do that. That would be an awful move. Right now, I'm not interested in doing anything. Sam, I'm ready to go with your course and start my journey. Yeah, I look forward to working with you then, my friend. Honestly, guys, for me, this is just a leave alone part right now. It's good to just sit still. Let it make up its mind. Let it either come lower or break higher in base. But I don't want to bid against it, that's for sure. Not when we're going sideways and there's a good chance they want to wash these guys out because they can't get back above these 90s, which we keep talking about. Is it a must to work with the Bookmap? No, it's not a must. It's not a must. Plenty of people trade without it. I feel like I'm trading blind without it. There we go. Here's the wash. Let's see if they come down into here now and how they respond. If we don't hold previous week value area high, I would have some concerns here. Like in this, we call it like a block, a level, right? If we don't hold this area, I'd have some concerns because I think then possibly, you know, a trade back down to 755, 750s is possible, right? All the way down here. It's not ideal. So they really bulls will want to hold dips here. Otherwise, we're going to go back inside the previous week's value area range, which is like, it's just not ideal if we're going to do that. There would be a node, yeah, 770, 750, 674. It's less than ideal if they let go of it. We go back in rotation of previous week's value. Alex, how do we get better at planning and building an overall narrative? I tend to struggle with that. Is that one of the hardest things to develop? It's a good question. I think it just comes from time, understanding how the market likes to move, understanding what your playbook is, and being more focused on the higher timeframes. Understand, like, are we attempting to move the market higher? If we're in an auction, remember the market's either looking to find value or it's in value. It's either looking to find new value or it's already in value. Currently, all right, you could argue we have been looking to find new value because we are leaving previous day's value. So if value yesterday was in here, right? We left that value, which means we've decided that's too cheap. Now we're trying to see, okay, are we finding value here? If the answer is yes, we're going to go in a rotation here. If we say, hey, this isn't good value, then we're going to come down, right? And we're going to look for value somewhere else again, maybe where it was before. It's understanding that process and using, you know, S&R off hourly levels, daily levels, things like that to understand what the market's doing. I mean, all you have to do right now, if you zoom out on a daily, what are we actually doing? We're not doing a lot, are we? All right, we're not doing a lot. This is what we've done on the daily for a while. You can see we have failed to break above this since early November. We're in one of these, but we're tight. All right, so we are creating liquidity. At some point, we will use that liquidity, but right now we're in liquidity creation by going sideways. Okay, back up to these 90s again. So that last dip was a little wick below, back to these 90s again. If they get through these 90s, they have the potential to squeeze. They've got to get through and base. Otherwise, we're going to continue this rotation. So far, we're not finding, every time we come down here, we're not really finding acceptance. Yes, there's a lower low, but this, for me, is probably a bullish liquidity build right now, right? At some point, I expect to see something like this happen, and then we can join. Yeah, my Fillet ITM. Yeah, if you just like go down towards the end of the course, there's like a module on Discord that will tell you what to do. Blew an account this morning. Lol, the market is moving awful. Well, I'm going to give you some tough love there. It means you've oversized or you played something that isn't there. Because the market hasn't moved that much. Market's moved 111 points and most of that's in a 70-point range. So if you've blown an account, You've tried to take too many trades or you've oversized. Yeah, I see that, JD. I mean, we're actually in the stronger asset. Well, RTY now. This is what I was talking about. The rotation the last few weeks has been out of tech back into small caps and like bio and stuff like that, positioning for increased market breadth. Last year, the breadth was awful, right? It was Mag 7. Well, I'd say even the last 2 years was awful. Mag 7 doing all of the work. All of the work came from the Mag 7. So we're trimming Mag 7 at the moment and we're rotating into everything else. And at some point, they will come back into Mag 7 when they deem the market is ready. Okay, back up to 80s. So we're going to test 90s again. Waiting to see if we trigger a squeeze and a base above. ES back into its VWAP. Daily and hourly are my go-tos. Hourly, I call like God, right? God, hourly is very, very key for me. Even a 30 minutes can be very, very useful. Like right now, if you look at the hourly, right, we're just stuck, right? This is this week's developing profile. We're stuck in here, right? We can't find acceptance above. We're not finding acceptance below. We're in this huge pocket of volume from this week. That's why the 23s are key. 90s in current days levels are key, and then 23s, which is up here. This is the edge of that. When we talked about that rotation, it was 840s, right? This is that huge current week volume node. This is what we're trading between right now. If we can find acceptance above this, we can go for it. Right now, that's all we've got. Hi Alex, how long does key levels stay relevant for you? For example, prices moved through last week's value area high multiple times this week already. Still key though. Still key, because if you look, it's moved through it, but once we move through it, what did we do overnight? This became key, right? You can see as an area. Don't use it as a direct area. As an area, this is where we held, found bids, and went over, right? Still key. It's best way of putting that is key until it's not. It's still a big level. If we lose it, then we just look for the next level down. Back into this shelf here again, these 90s again. I'm just saying the same thing over and over again because the market is doing the same thing over and over again. Here's the test of 90s. And the question is now, do they squeeze and base above? Or do buyers come aggressively in here and get trapped? Here's the squeeze. Can they base above though? Answer so far is no, but aggressive buyers came in and got trapped again above 90s. So we've got passive selling up here between 90s and 900s. It's absolutely clear they cannot get through that level. Am I looking for shorts? No. New to the channel? Morning, Rob Miller. I'm going to get a refill on my tea while this is doing absolutely nothing. All right, be right back. There we go. Oh, cold in there. Jumper. Okay, same stuff still true. Still in this shelf. This is probably the hardest part of the game, especially for you guys who are new, is just sitting still. Just sitting still, not wanting to click. Nothing's going on here, folks. So until we get that break above and a base, or that dip below and a hold, I don't really want to do anything. Interested in this now. See how it acts back into this same level. New York VWAP right there. It's so key, man. So key, this level up here for sentiment. When it passes the first 15-minute range low and high, are we looking for a fair value gap? And when will we know whether to take a long or high? I don't know. Go and ask your crazy mentor, because I don't know what type of setup that is. I'm assuming you mean an opening range break with some momentum, but that's not my setup. That's awesome. Great work, man. Passing those lucid accounts. Fantastic work. They are trying to hold bids here at the moment. This is where we're stuck. Right, here's your node. This is where we're stuck. All right, this is the volume build. I would love to see it do this, and really I'd love it. Above here, we really get going. Right, this is a bigger node on a weekly. Above here, we really get going. Can also be a trap level. SPY right at its VWAP right now. Can it find acceptance back through it? Can we get going today? Possible that we've seen some accumulation at these lows. Here's the drive through. Buyers caught there again. Still a passive seller up there into 900. 90 to 900. Still passive selling up there. Every pop through, they are just passively selling. So we're seeing big buyers step in and they're just getting the door shut on their face over and over and over again. And that is the story so far today. How do I do my entries? Well, it depends on the setup, but I normally limit in and I'm waiting for the market to show me it wants to do something. At the moment, there's quite literally nothing to do, guys. There's no entry, right? I'm just flat. I'm just waiting. There's nothing going on right now. If we can find acceptance above it here, then I'm interested, but it's going to be a scalp to start because I don't know if this door gets shut on my face here. All right, so if we are able to hold here, I'm interested. I'm also interested down here. I'm focused on the longs today, even though we're sort of sideways and melting, but I'm not going to like force my way in. It either shows me exactly what I want to see, or I'll just have those first two trades for the day, and that's also okay. Like you cannot sit here and be like, I want to buy it, so I'm buying it. It's just fucking stupid. Pardon my French, but like if you're clicking buttons for no reason, it means you don't have a setup. Those in Discord will know. I've just done a competition. I said, I want to know your setup. Tell me your A+ setup. Because if you can't describe your setup, what you're looking for, you've got no business trading, to be quite honest with you. What do you mean, how do I choose my... Maybe I'm not understanding, Eddie. Can you explain a bit more? How do I choose my entry? Look, all I want, the key level, one side trapped, and then I'll play their pain. That's basically what I do, whatever time frame I'm looking at. So like if this is a key level, right? We talked about, I think we talked about 70s to 30s, right? If this is a key level, what do I want to see? I want to see in here aggressive sellers, right? Market sellers in here, and I want to see limit buyers absorbing the tape. I want sellers to get trapped, right? Ideally under this level here because we've got a node, and I want to use their pain for them to stop out to go higher, and then I'm going to take profit on the way up because I know right now we've got buyers trapped above this level here. That is the same level if we go to an H1 that I'm looking at, right? So I've got confluence of this node right here, right? So I have to trim here. If we find acceptance above that, we can get going, but at the moment we can't. At the moment it's just a rotation. So that is pretty much the same setup I'm always looking for. Pretty much the same thing. Whether it's a reversal, whether it's a continuation, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm looking to play people's pain. Back to these same levels, 90s again. That's great, Green Otter. That's great. Like one losing day in 3 weeks is amazing. That's not just great, it's fantastic. And you're only negative 135. That's very good discipline. Like that is good trade. I'm telling you, that is good trading. Too many people think a negative day is bad trading. If you've stuck to your rules and you've lost on the day, that's good trading. What's bad trading is if you haven't stuck to your rules and you've won on the day, or you haven't stuck to your rules and you've lost loads on the day. That's bad trading. If you're sticking to your discipline, you're telling me that you've won pretty much straight for 3 weeks by sticking to your rules and you've lost one day. Well, that is going to equate to a very, very good profit factor as long as your RR is decent, then you're going to be fine. Paul, I use it on an M5 and an M1. That's what I use it on. Oh, man, that's very kind of you to make that donation. Thank you. I'm so glad you're back. I started following you not long ago, but I found you to be a very good, valuable person. Here's the 90s test, guys. Although we can say that our community is relatively small, I can assure you that we have been thinking about you a lot in the past period. God bless you. Thank you so much. Okay, here's the squeeze up to the next level. Let's see. Do they fade this? Now we're looking for dips to hold, and otherwise we're looking for the 25s, if there's a way of getting involved in this. So this was the move we were looking for. Is there a way of getting involved in it now? Is the market going to be cruel and go without us? ES approaching high of day already. I want to be involved in this now. This is what I was looking for. We've left 20s now. Sorry, we've left 90s. We're approaching, trying to get to those 20s. Remember, the 20s is the edge of the current weekly developing profile, right? So this is exactly what I just talked about. We leave here. We will try and trade to this node. If we get through this node, we will trade up towards here. This is the edge of the current week. If we get through this, there is expansion possible. The question is it going to offer us an opportunity to get involved? Sometimes we can see the levels and it will not offer us an opportunity to get involved. That is very, very possible. If dips start to hold here into 90s, I'm interested. If they don't hold 90s, I'm simply not interested in playing. It just means it's another false break and we come right back down to what we're starting to see. So no trade here for me. It's unfortunate. So we missed this slight drive up, but there's, like I said, I would have wanted to see it do this and it would have been TP1 and then hold for TP2, and we would have got stopped back out. NQ needs to give above the open. Yeah, the opening print. That's literally it. That's the edge of that open print is the edge of the current week's developing node. It's a massive level. All right. So this is another good example for you where it hits the levels, but where's the entry? For me, there's no entry there. I mean, maybe some of you like buying breakouts. There's certainly no way I'm buying a breakout here for that move. So we're just flat, you know, and there's clearly passive selling on the tape. Like, how many guys got stuck in there? 267 lot, 243 lot, 24 lot, 12 lot. They all joined from that 90 break. It's just messy, folks. Like, this is barcoding. All right, this is barcoding, really. Oh my gosh. All right. Oh my gosh, can't do it. Here we go. All right, we're barcoding here. Most of what's happening is happening here, right? Right in here. It's okay not to trade, guys. I know you might be frustrated. You're probably leaving this channel and you're jumping around to other guys who rip their shirts off. Oh, we're going higher. No, we're not. We're going nowhere right now. All right, so just learn the discipline to sit still. Learn the discipline to sit still. It will be obvious, right? It's going to be really obvious. When it wants to do something, it's going to scream at you to get involved in it. So you got sorry, Alex, Damien, I hope I've said your name right. Right. You have a bearish sentiment, and that's that you want to go to the new week opening gap and rejected it. So shorting, retesting it again. Okay. Like, if that's your system, then that's exactly what you should be doing, my friend. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you're looking for, and that's the system that pays you, do what the system pays you, right? Like I said, this is just how I trade. This is there's no set rule. There's no one way to trade. At the moment, if you just think about value, right, if you're buying all dips here and selling all pops here, you're pretty good today, aren't you? Buy that, sell that, buy it back. Buy that, sell that, buy it back. All right, there's your range. Remember earlier, D-shaped profile. Once we leave it, might be more. I am going to just mark another little node out, which is right here. And I want to watch the previous week. What's this guy here? Yeah, same node. Okay. So another attempt to get back down into here now. Thanks, Alex. Still downtrend? Yeah, so far on the day. But like, zoom out. Right, I don't think we're backside yet. I think this is a big drive. All right, and we can absorb here to rotate here. Where would I consider it backside? Well, probably if we lose this. Right, that's where more weakness comes in, is under here. That's why I'm being cautious. Everyone looking for the short, that's why I'm being very, very careful, because this can be a big build out to go higher. All right. What's the main move here? It's been leaving previous day's value, isn't it? Leaving previous day's value. In fact, it's also left previous week's value. Previous day value area low, we found a bid. We reclaim previous week value area low. We take out previous day value area high. We take out previous week point of control. We take out previous week value area high. We drive up. It can find a bid here. This is a strong move, which might still have continuation in. Yes, maybe we drift down into here, but I would need to see that first, right? That's why I'm being very careful about thinking about a short. I'm not too interested in the short right now. I'm going to be very honest with you. All right, initial balance now set. 111 points IB, this purple line on the bottom of your chart. Felix, depends on the type of account, but I would just scale right back to micros. 2 to 3 micros gives yourself plenty of room on a 50k account. Plenty of room. If you go to minis, unless you're like a good trader and you're looking to like aggressively pass them, which is, yeah, I'll be honest, I often do that. I can be aggressive with minis on evals, just get them past. Because I don't want what I would call time decay sitting in them too long. But I wouldn't advise that unless you know you can you've got a good shot at passing them if you're a newer trader, and definitely if they're PAs down to micros. Okay, here's the rotation again. So another failed look below, underneath value area low, still being absorbed. We have negative delta, so sell side delta came in there at 860s. So 860s we had, where's this guy? 190 lot at 860 sell side, and we've got 194 lot buyer sat there now. So that's a level right now that I'm watching carefully to see if we interact back down there. Is there a trading system that isn't yours that you're envious of? I don't have envy for systems. It doesn't matter what a system is. All you got to do, your job is to make money. Job is not to gloat, not to shout on social media. Your job as a trader is just to make money and get off the charts, right? So that's it. I'm quite happy doing that. And I love teaching my system to other people and developing it and refining it, and that never stops. Like, the moment you think you're smarter than the market is the moment you will lose it all. Okay, guess what? We're back in these 90s again. Back to VWAP. This is so tight. Boring, isn't it, when it's like this? It's how the market used to be all the time. So slow like this. Big seller coming in here, being absorbed. 90s is such a big level, man. Is the blue and red chart Bookmap? Bookmap is this, what is above me right now. All Bookmap is a visualization of level 2, right? That's all it is. Right, 90s testing again here. Passive seller sat up at 900. Every time it feels like it wants to go, it doesn't though. It's so weird. ES looks pretty good. Still not through its New York Open. MAG looks all right other than Google. Google, the only one red now, 0.85% down. The rest of the MAG comfortably in the green now. Is there follow through the 90s? And can it get over the 20s? That's the bigger question. Can it get over the 20s? No follow through over the 90s again. VIX just basing down at low of day. Here we go. Right, let's see where we go at 900s. Do they squeeze now? It's looking a little bit better. Through the 900s, 915s lifting up here. They're bidding 900s now. Can they get follow through and hold those 900s for the whole number? They're bidding 85, 80s. I want to see them walk up through 900s if I'm going to join here. They're still bidding 90s and 80s. I want them to see them. I want to see them walk up. I don't want to see them sat down there. Come and join this tape. Here they come, coming to try and join the tape. Move up, please, Mr. 90. Move up, please. Okay, here comes the 10s. Looking for this now for expansion over value area high. Here we go. Right, I'm scalping some out here straight away. Let's see if we can get to the 25s. I'm going to trim more at 25s, right, or into 20s. And then I'll see if we can get a runner to go. So if we get over that New York Open, we know that's the edge of the current week profile. And if we get through that, we're going to search for value higher. Come on, baby. Trimming some here. Come on, baby. Get through it. Get through it. Trimming some here into this. Come on. One left. I'll re-add if we base above. Previous day highs here. New York Opens here. We've got to get through it. If we don't get through it, I'm just going to cut. They are offering 30s and 50s now. I just don't want to see this dip back down underneath value area high, which is 903s. I really don't want to go back into that mess that we've created for the last few hours. So I want to see expansion now up. ES almost taken out. Is that pre-market high or is that open high? Okay, it's just got pre-market high left. So ES making a new high in New York, not taking out pre-market high yet. We look good. This is better. Just make sure you're paying yourself. Geez, we had to wait ages for this. Do not want it undervalue. Come on. You've got a node there to bid off. Come on. Please, someone big step on the tape. Come on. So slow. All right, ES taking out pre-market high. Just be careful here if it's a false break on ES because we'll dip back inside if they do that. ES already at its initial balance high. Come on, you're so slow, Q's. You're so slow. Right, it needs to bid here now, otherwise I'm cutting. It needs to bid right here on value area high. This node here that you're looking at, I need to see it bid here. I don't want to risk all the way back down into this. It needs to bid here or I'm going to cut. Nice. I want the next push to take out New York open, the blue line on your chart, and previous day high, the red line on your chart. I need to see it take out that on the next push. I'm not going to sit through a 2-leg pullback in this current position. I'll cut it and re-add if I have to do that. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Turn it on. 50s coming up. Put the boosters on through 20s to 50s. Let's go, baby. Oh, come on. Oh my God, they got no juice over these 20s. Okay, so remember, we have to be aware. The reason I've trimmed some here is we have to be aware. The current week developing profile, this is a huge level, right? Once we get over this, all right, once we get over this, we're looking for up here if we get really lucky. 20s is a big level. 25s, this edge right here. Yeah, 25s, big, big, big level. If we can base over that, we have a shot. All right, if we can base over that, we have a shot. But we've trimmed, all right, for this move up into this. It's not a huge move. What if we got 40 points? It's not bad considering, is it? Just be careful because ES has taken out its high of day. VIX trading at lows, 1550. Out. I'm done. I'm done. Not holding through that. All right, not bad though. Not bad. I can always re-add if we start to prove. I just don't really want it to come all the way back down into this node here. This is why I wanted it to hold this right here. So that edge at 25s is a huge level. So discipline to cut here. Can always get back in. That's the other thing, folks. Right, you can always get back into the trade. That next shelf is key down here. Buyers stepped in at 887 earlier on this drive up, and a seller got caught there at 65 lot. He got caught at 86, and 100 lot got caught at 78. We're still bidding off it. Did I not give that enough room to breathe? Possibly. Possibly. That's my indicator telling you to buy there. That's the Flow Zone Pro. It's actually where I bought. I didn't use the indicator for it, but it is where I bought because we'd reclaimed flow zones and we broke through 90s and we trapped sellers. So the key for me was we trapped sellers right here. Someone asked me earlier about it. We trapped sellers into 90s. So once they were out of position, we got this squeeze up. We need to break back above 25s now to get up to those 50s. It's doable. If we rebase here, it's doable. What you want to see here is a new build out of liquidity in this range, right? Low volume nodes held as support. That's good. We've reclaimed this. You want to see this. You want to see this move here now. You do not want it to come back down into here. It's got no reason to come back down into there. We've already trapped. It should not be coming back down into there again. It's tapped it once. It doesn't need to do it. It's already filled. There's a buy side imbalance in here. It's already filled it. It doesn't need to do it again. There is actually a sell side balance up at 15s that you need to be aware of right here. I enjoy your show. I did well today. Awesome. Nice work, man. That chart, no, that's Ninja Trader, the chart you just saw. Oh my gosh, it's so slow. Painfully slow. It's both. This is New York VWAP. Daily VWAP's down here. So why New York VWAP? There's a whole video on New York VWAP and the importance of cash. But if you think about where does most of the volume come in? Where's the volume coming in? From 9:30, right? So where am I interested in? I'm interested in the average participation of buyers and sellers based on where volume comes in, which is why New York VWAP is important. Chopfest, yeah, it is a little bit. Do I have a video on YouTube chart setup? There's one for Ninja Trader. I'm not sure if there is one for TradingView. Maybe there is. I'm not sure. Can't remember. It's been a while. There's definitely one for Ninja Trader. Don't think I want to rebid down here. I don't think I want to rebid it. It's very possible they hold and rip it, but I'm not too keen on the rebid. They should have done the move. The fact that they rejected 25 says to me that we're staying inside this D shape. And we all know Alex doesn't like trading rotations. Is that a separate VWAP? Yes, it is a separate VWAP. You can just anchor it. You can just use an anchor volume, anchored VWAP to the 9:30 open. I'm very fortunate. Someone in my community made us a New York VWAP for the Flow Zone community for free, which was very kind of them. I'm either too conservative or too aggressive, hence the question of what your regular position size is on a 50K. Okay. The problem with that question, Felix, is you're not taking into account the potential of the move in front of you and the ATR. So if you're sizing the same for every single trade, but the volatility is different and your ATR is different, then you're going to get caught. Because if you have, let's say, a 20-point stop loss every day, and we're in a day where we're in, high volatility, maybe VIX is at 18s, 19s, 20s, your 20-point stop loss isn't going to mean diddly squat, right? So you have to understand that you should be positioning based on where you're trying to get the market to move from. Now, if you're newer and you want to start with a fixed position size, and then just size down and try and understand where the market's trying to go to. Or if you're going to be a scalper, maybe you're risking 30 to make 30. I don't know. But if you don't understand position sizing versus ATR and volatility, or where liquidity sat, you're going to find it hard. I see other traders, big streamers, put on like 1 mini to scalp 10, 20, 30 points, or maybe even less, probably more like 8 points at the start of the day, but they're not understanding the volatility of that market, and then we'll get wicked out very quick. So thank you. I've been watching for 3 weeks to learn futures. I've been a swing trader and passed 2 Apex accounts with your code off your knowledge and discipline. Nice, Chris. Congratulations. In a lucid end of day drawdown, if during your day your account goes below the minimum, do you automatically fail? Yeah, I think so. If you go over the hard stop, yes. My understanding is yes. I think I asked this before, but is there a setting or indicator that automatically sets the open and close for the day? There probably is. My flow zone indicator would do it for you, but if not, you could probably just do it in the settings, I would imagine. There's probably a way of just doing it in here, status line. I'm sure there'll be a way of doing it, but yeah, there will, with no question of a doubt, there will be a setting for it. which you could automatically put on. You just search for it and indicate. Just Google it, and you'll probably find it. Okay, this is why I didn't want to rebid, because they failed that up here again, the 25s. So we come back down to value area high. If they lose this kind of area here, there's probably a deeper rotation. All right, because we've now had a failed break. And if we lose this area now, there'll probably be a deeper rotation. VIX starting to find a bit of a bid here now. So the next pivot for VIX is really 16.11. It's got room. It has got room. All right, so previous week value area high tagged. This little node here tagged. If we fail this, then, you know, maybe 775, 750s. But this is the previous week value area high. The question is, do they bid down here? I don't know, folks. I don't know if they do. We can just sit and watch now for a minute. But momentum definitely came strong off this rotation of 25s. All right, so we're 100 points down already back into this area. And if we lose this, we've got other blocks and nodes down below that we can look at. But question is, are we going to base above previous week's value or not? If we're not, it means there's no acceptance above previous week's value. Previous week's value comes all the way down to here, right? And previous day's value area high is here. And this right here is your gap. All right, so if they lose this, they might check this. Maybe they reclaim this and squeeze. If they lose this, then they probably go gap fill and test these areas, because we're in a rotation. So right now we're going to come up, probably test these sort of 60s. Initial balance, this is a look below so far of IB, but it's only been for a minute. You can give it a bit of time to develop here, I think. Apple now gone red. Google now 1% down. Microsoft 0.27% down. Nvidia losing about 1% off its peak today now. So you're starting to see this market pull back a bit. Hey Joe, no, nothing. No external indicator works with TopStep, I'm afraid, mate. If you're using TopStep X, which is, I assume, what you mean, you can't use a third-party indicator. You can only use what they provide. Jason, just nuked a funded account on my first trade. Ouch, that sucked. I should have taken the loss sooner. Well, yeah, you should have either taken a loss sooner or sized down. Sounds like you're using way too much size. All right, ES back into its 24-hour VWAP. We're around the same point here. Again, not bidding on this. It's an area of interest, but I'm not bidding on this right now. I don't think this market knows what it wants to do. I can show you my scorecard for the day. Again, not linking anything yet. Only my second day back. Nice and slow. Yeah, Felix, 2 to 3 micros. Just 2 to 3 micros, all you need. All right, if you're getting a 100-point move on 2 micros, it's $400. That's all you need. You don't need to be... People try and make all the money in one trade. It's where they go wrong. It's just like psychopath moves, you know? Yeah, I'm definitely am checking order flow here. I'm watching everything right now. I mean, I know there's sellers at the low of day at 820. I know we've reclaimed previous week value area high now. I know there's an imbalance we just tapped into 40 all the way up to 44. We have a sell side imbalance there. And I know there's big sellers that came in at 45. So that's where their pain point is. But we're rejecting initial balance right now. So I really don't want to be counter trend long at the moment. They're bidding right now down at 800. So much below. Not really. So we're back into the Globex session. The Globex pivot is really 800 or just underneath. Yeah, 800. We really lack structure from that 5 a.m. candle. That's the bigger problem. That could take us down to 760 if we lose the bid. Still planning to shed the mountain. I mean, I wanted to go. Obviously, I've had to deal with some personal matters. And also, it wasn't... We had some landslides here, so all the roads were blocked. So you couldn't actually get up to the mountain. And it's been like 80 degrees here since. So probably all the snow's gone already. But I would like to get up to Mount High at least for a day or something, yeah. You and every coach out there say not to copy trade, but the last 4 weeks or so, whenever I try my own thing, I get cooked. When I copy coaches, I win. Maybe the nuance to copy trade strategy. I'm not sure what you mean there, Joe. As in not copy trade, copy me. I mean, it's important that you don't copy people because you have to be in charge of your own money and you're going to have to learn to stand up. Like, there's nothing wrong with being in a group and like saying this is what I'm looking at and understanding and learning. But I think you've got to understand the markets because at some point you might want to travel the world and be able to trade on your own instead of watching some 40-year-old with long hair on YouTube. Okay, so here's the drift. Potentially, if they don't hold a bid here, potentially they come down here into the 760s. VIX still going. So 1586 would be the next drive, and then that would take it to 16s. Question here is, do we reject previous week value area high now? And if we do, that means we're going back inside previous week's value, which means there's no acceptance above value. If we reclaim previous week value area high, it's just a dip below. That's like a sign of strength. But how we act here becomes, I'd say, pretty important now for sentiment. Are we looking to move value area higher, or are we saying, hey, no, this is no acceptance. So this level here is very, very, very important now. Yeah, you're right. CVD is showing divergence. It's showing stronger aggressive buyers, but we're moving lower, which means there's more passive sellers taking control of the market. So it's negative divergence right now since 9:30. So buyers are being aggressive and losing. Price is moving lower and delta is not. I'd say this value area high is a massive, massive, massive level. Do we reclaim and squeeze, or do they just keep rejecting it? Here's the reclaim. Now, do they base or not? Just tapped into that imbalance that I talked about maybe 5 minutes ago, the 40 to 44 imbalance. You won't see it if you use fair value gaps because it's not there, but it is a legit imbalance which just got tapped into. Nice, Jason. Great work, man. Awesome work. If they catch a bid here, it's very, very thin for the drive up. That's the one thing I would say. If they catch a bid here, it's very, very thin. We're starting to try and base over previous week value area high. Value area low on the day is 56s. I don't want to be early to this, so if we base, I am interested. They've got to start basing, building out, trapping. There is shorts caught down here for sure. Underneath 20, there are shorts caught underneath 20, which is what, right here. Underneath 20, there's sell side caught in this in these candles here. This one right here. But otherwise, not convinced. So we can't even get through that imbalance of 40 I keep talking about. It's got to get through that to have a chance of doing anything at all. That initial balance, big level, 40s. So the IB, remember? Whoa, someone sold that IB. Someone tried to aggressively sell that IB, and sellers got caught at the lows there. This could be interesting now. If enough sellers just got caught on that flush, trying to play the follow through, we might start squeezing. It's got to get back through the IB now. 40s to 45s, big level. There's an imbalance there. We have the initial balance there. They just tried to reflush that. Sellers just got caught again under 20s on this long wick. Under 20s, they came aggressive and got caught again. So we've got like 3 lots of sellers down there now caught under 20. So bids need to hold over 20 and start to accelerate upside for a squeeze. Otherwise, we're not going to see anything happen. Here we go. Here we go. All right, can we get going here now? Looking long here, trying to accelerate higher. Want to get a move back through value area low minimum, really. Want to see us bid through 50s. Delta there was at 60s. We had a big seller at 60s. Once we get through that, we're going to start squeezing. And we're going to have to hold bids. Can't hold bids yet. Feathering into this very small size. Stops very, very, very tight here. I do not want to see a flush below 20. Like, we cannot go down to 20. It's as simple as that. There's IB. Come on. Print through 45s, please. Come on, market. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Get through these 45s. Through 45. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Suck a nut. Let's go. All right, straight into target 1. Beauty. What a beauty. All right, let's see if we can trail now. I want to see it hold a bid over 56s. We just took out all those stops, just got wrecked like I talked about through the 45s. Damage is done. We're locking in no matter what. And let's see. We've repriced this big kill candle. We've gone straight back. Look at the same level. What did we talk about earlier? The 90s. All day, these 90s. These flipping 90s. So we've got to see a bid over that if we're going to see acceleration. So we were long from here, trim some here. If we get acceleration now, it's going to be really fun. But like, pay yourself, like, don't expect it, right? Pay yourself as if it's not going to happen. What the hell happened? I'll tell you what happened. In here, a big seller stepped in under 20. He re-added on this flush, right? So he now had a huge sell position here. And once we broke the 45s, he was offside, so he stopped out, and that increased the push higher. As simple as that. So we had a look below initial balance into our key level, the blue box that we've had. We reclaimed, and now we start to squeeze. Now, can we find acceptance over 90s now and go all the way up? That's the big question now. That's the big question. Back up to these 90s. Just trying to see if I can get a runner to go here. Trying to see if I can get a runner to go here. Point control now sat at 73s. Value area low down at 56s. So you want dips to hold that. This node, I don't really want to add in this node. It's not the best. And this rotational node again. What was the blue box level? It was a big node from the previous week. I'll show you. All right, it was this guy right here. Yeah, so I was trading against that. Can that hold? That's a dip down against it. And we went wick to wick. So it lined up with Confluence. Node here, wick to wick for pivot, right? Resistance becomes support. And we look to accelerate if we can. So we might look for a giant inverted head and shoulders here if we can really get going. All the stops are still up here. Doesn't have to do that move today, but that's what would be nice if we can find acceptance higher. Really good. Through the 90s. Come on, through the 90s. We'd like to go through the 90s. Continue this squeeze. Can we get up to 25s? Can we get up to the 25s? If we get through 25s, I'd love to see acceleration. When I speak, I'm mostly 50-50. Definitely not. Go to the... I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to answer that. You, my friend, need to learn to trade. There's always two options. I'm telling you, if we do this, it does this. If it does this, it does that. That's how the market moves. Fuck me. I've been very clear on what I've been looking for today. I've been looking for longs off the blue area because we've pushed value higher. I've literally gone over it since 9:15 this morning, you fucking cretin. Fuck me. I give you gifts, and that's the type of shit I get. Oh my God, I don't have the patience for it. All right, looking to see if we hold 90s now. All right, this node looking to see if we hold 90s now. Here's your if button maybe. If we hold that, I'm looking to do that. If we lose that, we will rotate. Because that's the rule of the market. Fuck me. And fuck off to someone else then. Piss me off, man. No thank you, just like, yap. Ugh. All right. Let's see. I have no patience, chat. I'm going through a lot right now. You piss me off, you get banned or I leave. It's really simple. Yeah, I think we're going to go 50s. We've got loads of offers up there. We want to come and get up there. Trying to just manage this last guy now. Let's see if we can get through the 25s, and then we're going to accelerate through 50s if we can get to 25s. So if you haven't trimmed some, you might want to trim some into this node up here. Come on, through the 25s. Let's go. Turn the boosters on. I'll consider an add on a dip down to 90s. If it holds, if they trap sellers down there. We're trading right value area high for the day. So if we're going to go in a rotation, it's going to be annoying. Sellers just got caught in that last little flush to 900s. Someone's absorbing, trying to step in to be aggressive. They're trying to step in to be aggressive. I just want to see a drive through 25s. I think we'll get a really nice squeeze if we can drive through 25s. So interested if they hold dips into 890. Not interested really underneath that. And I'd like to see an acceleration through 25s. We haven't pulled back yet since this drive up, so I'm expecting that they might well pull back. Yes, right at that IB high. See if it bases and squeezes. New York open and IB high here on ES. That will help us if we get breadth to the market increasing. Sellers keep adding at the lows of each M1 right now, which is a good sign. They're being absorbed. stagnating here a little bit. It might be that they flush this down to the 90s. Still being absorbed, still passive buying there. So everything under 9 or around 900 is being gobbled up. I'm not adding up here. I want to see if we come back down to the 90s, I'll consider it. But I want to be careful now because we're trading between two nodes. So I don't want to leave one node and get trapped between these two and rotate between these. So I don't want to add up here. I'll consider an add down here. It's not ideal, but I will consider it because maybe we can do this. Alternatively, and I'm not going to add up here, but alternatively, if we just squeeze through this and come through higher day, that would be ideal. That would be the most ideal scenario, not even offering me an add and just keep squeezing. Yeah, they're bidding 900, 95s, and 890s and 880s. Don't really want it into 880s. It's right back down into the midpoint. I'd like to see these passive buyers walk up. I'm not seeing that right now. Really nice if Nvidia went back through 88s as well. Here we go. Come on, retake IB, please. Yes. I want to be careful because we were straight up. I don't want to straight down. So here's the move to 90s. This is what I'm aware of. For me, it must hold 90s. Don't want it into this thick of this node. It's got to protect in front of 90s. I don't want to be in the thick of that node because we were straight up. Vic's starting trying to find a bit of a bid. So I want to be a little bit cautious here. Not adding yet. Just waiting to see. Remember, we're positioned all the way from down here. So can give this a little bit of room on the runner. Good absorption there again. Great absorption there again. Sellers came flying in there at 900s and haven't won. So I want to see this accelerate higher now because we just trapped all the sellers. Here we go. Go, 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 go. You just trapped them all. Let's do it. Push. Break 25 and start squeezing. Let's go. You just trapped them all. Let's go. Let's go. You've done your job. I don't want you to re-dip back in. Not looking at a re-dip back in. I want this to accelerate now. It's just done the job of trapping them all. They just all got caught under 900 there. They tried to play the 900 break lower, and they got caught. Now we're holding value area high. I want to see this break higher through 25s. Please just go through 25s to 50s. Make my life easy. Seller here at 14 getting filled. Come on, go 15s and then go 25s. Come on, no more dips. Go, 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 go. They're still rebidding 900. I really don't want it back down there. Don't want them to test these guys. Oh. Starting to lose faith in this. If they don't hold this now, I'm going to cut. This is the pain point for them right here, right now. I can show you what I'm looking at in Bookmap. All right, I'm probably going to cut this here. All right, so these sellers here are the guys that got caught. All right, they just tried to take the break underneath. We used their stops to drive higher. We are now retesting their stops. It must hold this and accelerate higher. Otherwise, I'm out. I'm out now. I don't care even if they send it higher. I'm not willing to sit through this. They had the chance to do it. They just trapped everyone. Maybe they retrap again on a second leg, but I'm good with that. I can always re-add in back over 25s. Need to stick to my rules, manage my positions effectively. All right, I'm going to take a bathroom break. I'll be back. Okay. As you notice, guys, I have zero patience right now. And when you go through what I'm going through, neither with you. So I would advise you not to test me on stream because I'm doing my best to be here. If you test me, I'm likely to blow. Just joined and subscribed. What stocks are you trading? We're trading futures. This is the NQ. Level holding well. Yes, holding very well, actually. Maybe I was a bit... didn't give it enough room. But for me, the dip... I think, was it this one? Whichever dip that was, one of those dips, it trapped enough in. It shouldn't need to do it again. Shouldn't need to do it again. So you got to be careful if we go in rotation, right? If we're going to stay in rotation, it's going to be a pain. Make sure this lines up. 56s, yeah, it's pretty much there. So that's what I'm aware of. It can still absorb, right? The problem you've got now is if you've developed a node here, right, and buyers get stuck here, and you drift down here and buyers bid this, your rotation takes place in here until you find acceptance, or unfortunately for the person who got very upset, or we will do that because those are the rules, right? There's never one trade. If you believe that a market can only do one thing, then why doesn't it always go up or always go down? It's just nonsense. Could be trapping more for the run to 26116. Yeah, I would agree with you. It's very possible. But the first problem is it could be trapping. It's got to get through. You've got a big node, which we tapped into this morning, 950 to 970. And that's before you've even got to 26042, right? I see what you're looking at. I agree with you. From a swing point of view, it makes sense. Absolutely, it makes sense from a swing point of view. Still hasn't broken the orb. Yeah, I mean, failed look below. Hasn't traded through the top side. Yeah, same as the initial balance. Still trading midpoint of IB. Absolutely. Absolutely agree with you all saying that. Luna Luna? Google the lagger today. And so I was thinking of Luna because she's looking at me. Google the lagger today. Here's the 900s again. So they're going to try and do that move. They are trying to hold the 90s. They are trying to get that squeeze up. They're trying to develop this inverse head and shoulders we talked about. The problem is you've got this little node here. Right, get through that and you've got a shot. Get through that and you've got a shot. But you must get through this right here. So these are the nodes that you're looking at right now. We can just do them as grey. Right, one there. And a big fat one here. Right, these are the nodes. That's the rotation. The best day for me, I made 13k. That's awesome work. Let's see if they rebid above that or not. Here we go. All right. Rebidding above this. Let's see if we can go now then. See if there's a way of getting involved here. Value area high on the day, 12s. I want to see acceleration through 25s. I want dips to hold now, and I want acceleration through 25s. If we're going to build this inverse right shoulder and come up to this IB high and maybe accelerate through it. Here we go. Lots of liquidity at 25. Should go and take that out. There we go. Come on. So imbalance here we just tapped into. Old imbalance from 1040 this morning. That's up to 17, yeah, 17.25. We need to trade through that imbalance. Filling an old sell side imbalance there. Once we trade through that, I think we can really start accelerating. We will see if it's able to do it. And the top of value there as well. I'll be careful of that. 16s there. What if I got it on mine? 12s. Not matching up quite right. So this grey box needs to hold now for the longs. How long we got left? Ages left. 40 minutes left. God, I was hoping it was lunchtime already. Hey amigo, did you was clicking something already? For me, yeah, I can tell you what we played this morning. We played this long here and this long here and this long here. Those are the longs. We left everything in here alone. And some people have probably added into this 90s here. So maybe some of you are still long. You'll tell me in chat. But long for this squeeze. Maybe they added here and looking to see if we can do that now. It needs to push value higher. We need to accelerate. What indicators is there on NinjaTrader that plots previous week value area high, value area low? I don't know if there's something that does it automatically. You have to. I do it all by hand. All right. Still holding well here so far. If you haven't checked it out, by the way, on my community page on YouTube, there is a competition right now to the end of the month to win a free Funded Next account. Worth checking that out. Doesn't cost you anything. Let's get these likes up, guys. There's over 600 of you watching, and there's 200 likes. I am not doing a giveaway unless we get to 400 likes today. So smash that like button. It costs you nothing. We're 3 for 3 today on longs. Some of you are still probably holding longs. I don't think I'm asking too much to say just click the like button for me. It's all you've got to do. Can't find anchored volume profile on NT. You have to manually, I think it's in data series, you will need to create a condition. I can't remember how to do it off the top of my head. My head is fried, but you basically need to create a setting. You can call it whatever your name is, which starts the volume profile at 9:30 each day. There is definitely a way to do it because I've done it. So failing again to break through here. I think it will come sooner rather than later. Let's see if I can find the setting for you. Hang on. M15. Come on, NT. All right, order flow, volume profile, and then trading hours. In trading hours, I have it set from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. You will need to create your own trading hour to do that. All right, your own one to do that. I'm pretty sure I did a video for it on YouTube. In fact, I know I did. If you go to my order flow video on YouTube, it will show you how to do it. All right, I definitely put that in that video so that you can see how to do it. Go to my free order flow video on YouTube. In fact, let me try and find it. I'll post it for you, and it's in there. I know it's in there. This one here. All right, if you go on this video, it will show you how to do the volume profile. Here we go, folks. All right, can we get through these 25s now? I'm looking for a squeeze through 25s and ideally up to 50s and beyond. Here we go. Lovely. Lovely. Through the 25s now. Lovely. Can we get up to previous week close, which would be in the 940s? I'd really like acceleration through that as well. So if you haven't paid yourself yet, make sure you're paying yourself. Yeah, I really want to get through the 50s. Yes, doing the job as well. Just want to see a big buyer step on the tape here at 25s. I've just wicked everyone out. We have got a chance to move higher at this point. And you'd want dips to hold really this edge at 14s if you're going to look for continuation. I'm not going to add any more here. This is my second attempt. Brian, where can you sign up for the newsletter? If you just click the link down below, just look in the either just scroll through chat and look for the comments from Nightbot, or just go into the info section of this video. There will be a link for the newsletter there. It's completely free. All right, seller now on the tape at these 22s, taking him out. They're faffing around here a lot. There's a lot of aggressive buying taking place here, which concerns me because we're not moving higher. So we just had like a 286 lot, 101 lot, and we've faded back away from that. Don't like it. I do not like that we haven't accelerated away from that now. So buyers starting to get trapped there at 25s. I might be done with this now. Locked that last one in. I did, but you used a downloaded anchored profile. I didn't use a downloaded anchored profile. That's not what I used at all. I use the order flow volume profile and I create my own 9:30 to 4 o'clock, which I show you how to do in there. There's nothing downloaded for it. All right, definitely seen those buyers get trapped up there at under 25s now. Back to this grey box we just talked about, POC. POC for the day, it's also POC for the current week. So this is fair value for the week. So it's becoming less and less interesting to trade around here now. Still need to get these likes up to 400 on stream if we're going to do a giveaway. Would like to give away an Apex account at the minimum. Low volume node underneath. If they lose the bid here, we'll flash back down to the 880s again. That's why I'm not interested at the moment. Do I trade inverse fair value gaps? No. Go in and out very quick. I mean, I don't feel like this was a quick trade. All right, I stopped out here. So what was that? Like, I don't know, like 15 minutes? We are day trading after all, and I hit TPs. So if I hit I'll hold all day if it wants to play bull, but, you know, I'll cut. The moment the trade is not making sense, I will cut. All right, if this took an hour to take place and we were doing this, then I would have waited an hour for it to hit TP, but we did it very quickly, didn't we? What's been the level all day? This here, 90s, and the 25s. And this was the buy opportunity here once we trapped. That was the long, TP1, TP2 into here, stopped out, didn't like how it's acting. I'm not going to hold a trade if it's hit TPs and it's not doing what I want to see. I'm not going to hold a trade, right? It can be a day, it can be a week, it can be a year, it can be a minute, it can be a second. It all depends what price is doing in front of me. Just found you. I heard some terminology at Convergent Trading. Did you study their program? I have no idea what you're talking about, Dustin. Sorry, but if you're hearing me talk, this is it's not someone's program. This is just market auction theory. It's just basics of how the market moves. It's no one owns this. Well, not a program owns this anyway. I don't own this, certainly. Okay, retesting this node and value area high on the session. Running out of time here. 30 minutes left. New 30-minute bar coming in 5 seconds. ES holding above IB nicely. VIX still trading around the low of days, not breaking lower, but just stuck. Still need some more likes here, guys, to do the giveaway. I'd love to give you guys an Apex account. Just stuck here. Those red lines on your screen, current week's POC, current day's POC. We're absolutely stuck at value. This is fair value. This is where the most volume has been traded since the Sunday open, and the most volume has been traded today. Exactly, TJ. Feels like it wants to go. Definitely feels like it wants to go through the 25s. I'm no longer in it. I give it the opportunity. We're running out of time. Probably done. Probably going to call it. Yeah, it's just because we're packed in, guys. If you just zoom out, look, doesn't mean it won't break. It's just like, look, let's just start from top-down analysis like we start every day. Right, daily. Here's our range. No acceptance above this. No acceptance below this. Dips yesterday, held this. Okay, here's all the range. No acceptance below, no acceptance above. No acceptance below, no acceptance above. It's the same back here. Right, I know this is bigger, but this is why we are so packed in here. If we break and the bowls start to expand and the market decides, hey, you know what? We're going to go risk back on in tech, then we'll do this move. The question is here, right? Is this a big old bull trap which is instantly sold back down, or do we base and start to do the next leg up? Is this accumulation for the next leg up, or is it a bull trap that sells? That's why we're stuck. If we move down to from a daily into an hourly, right, you can see this is in the old contract. This is a 2 weeks balance range that we left. Remember, the nicest trade we had here at the end of last year was this here. We left a 2 weeks balance range and we faded away from it. Ever since then, since, I don't know, mid-December, we've just been trading between this range here and this range here and building out. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks going nowhere. We are quite literally going nowhere in the market, all right, while we build out liquidity. What does it say about me that my best trading comes when I'm trying to lose money? Oh man, that's the worst, eh? So you've made too much, you're trying to lose more, you're trying to lose some, and you're making more. The best thing to do, mate, is not worry about the trade. Run your costs up, right? If you want to do that, run your costs up. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Just non-stop, run your costs up. That's the best way to do it. Have I been naughty today? That's a weird question. Okay, so like I said, if we lose this, we'll come back down to this grey box. Here's the 90s again, and a dip in the 90s again. All right. We're running out of range to play with. Yeah, that's a good idea, Ransom. That's a good idea. Something with a bigger spread and flip them. That's a great idea. And hit the market each side. Buy the market, sell the market. So you get filled the spread and you get filled the cost of it. It's a good idea. What would be a good one for that? Like cattle or something, is it? Something that lacks liquidity with a bigger spread. Soybeans, maybe. Coffee. Something like that. All right. Market's not moving. If we've got enough likes, I'll do a giveaway now. We'll do it a little bit earlier. We need 12 likes. 12 more likes and we'll give away an Apex account. Yeah, I see that, Steve. Well, it was the reflush on silver, wasn't it? After that giant squeeze out. That was the flush last night on silver. Taking out the squeeze, rebid. I really don't think this thing's done yet. From a macro perspective, it's got more juice in it. I mean, maybe they offer a reshort and then accumulate, a bit like gold did a while ago when it had its flush moment down here. Right, and there's the flush off the squeeze, reaccumulation. It takes a while, and now we're basing above the old high on gold. They've got room in them. They've got room in them, honestly. See, we're just trading from box to box right now. All right, we've got enough likes. That's awesome. Hey, that's awesome, Ransom. So Ransom just said the first thing I've ever won in the trading world was an Apex account from me, and they've a week ago or so, probably a couple of weeks ago because I wasn't here last week, and you've now passed it and you're trading the PA. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. That's awesome. All right. Don't type anything yet, guys. I haven't set it up. Let me just set this up for you all. Feels like it wants to move higher still to me, but that 25 level is a huge level. Huge, huge. Don't type it yet, guys, because if you type it now, and when I set it live, you won't be entered. And just give me a second to set it up for you. Hold on. Okay, FCT, type it once in chat. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to do that. And we'll give away a free Apex account. Give you guys a couple minutes to do that. Right, 30 more seconds, guys. Don't worry. Anyone that's spamming just gets pulled out. Like Nightbot just pulls them out. Like it automatically pulls them out. Everyone that spams, you get removed. Market trying to have another go here towards the 25. ES looks better. Okay, put in the winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Teresa, hopefully I've said that right. Teresa 19 or 19481. Are you here, Teresa? Here's the market having another go at those 25s. Teresa 19481. Let me know you're here. And give you another 30 seconds. If you don't let me know you're here, we're going to re-roll it. Yeah, there you go. Awesome. So you know the deal. Yeah, email me, screenshot, info@flowzonetrader.com. Just screenshot of you logged in. That's all I need. Nice one, Teresa. Congratulations. Set this up. All right, let's give away a free intro course as well. Give me a second to do that, guys. Okay, if you're a complete beginner, if you've never traded before, this is a good course for you to start on. All right, it's a 2-hour course, introduction course. If you win it and you already know how to trade and don't want to do it, you can give it to a friend. It's only worth $99, but it's a nice place for you guys to start. So I'll give away one of those. Just type course once now in chat. You need to type course in chat if you want to win that. Give you guys 30 more seconds here. Sorry to hear that, Human Craft. Hopefully tomorrow you have a better day. There hasn't been too much follow through today. We're still inside profile, trying to expand it higher, but we can't get outside the weekly profile range at the moment. Okay, let's pull this winner. 3, 2, 1. Croco 618. Great one. Great name. Croco 618. Are you here, Croco? Nice. Awesome. Congrats, man. All right, just shoot me an email, info@flowzonetrader.com. I just need to see a screenshot of your YouTube with you logged in, just so I know it's you. And we get you all set up. Yeah, no worries. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Awesome. All right, 15 minutes into lunch. I'll sit here with you just for a moment, see if we get something. But market's kind of gone to sleep here. I'll do a video this weekend on how to set up order flow, how I have it on here. All right, so you can have it the same way. I'll do a video for you guys this weekend on YouTube because I know lots of you have asked. I just have not had the time to do it. Haven't had the time to do it. You can see at the moment we've got trapped buyers on this breakout up here. Right, we need to see follow through above that. And we're not seeing that base above 25. Right, we had a push up. Right, sellers trapped at these lows. Here, there's the squeeze. Retrapped here. They had the opportunity to do it there, failed, and we've just been going sideways ever since. But I will, yeah, I'll do a free video for you guys at the weekend for that if I can get a moment to think. Just set one of you up on here. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Ray. That's I would agree with you there. It wants to move upside. It's just there's no momentum or follow through. But it might come. You know, you might get it in the afternoon session. It's possible. Well, maybe they just build liquidity and save it for tomorrow. We don't know. They're trying again now, like into these 20s and 25s again. Yes, new high of day. But, you know, there's just been no follow through these areas. Once you get through these areas, there's a good chance for it to try and like lift up to 50. But it's just really struggled to get through these areas. Here it goes. It's 25. So do you get acceptance above this all the way up here now? For those of you who are still holding your longs is the question. Still stuck there for now. I'm not going to take another trade this morning. I had a go at this to try and get it higher. It's probably going to go without me now. Into lunch, probably see a lift, but beyond my appetite now. Beyond my appetite. Let's see what you guys are saying. Order flow on IntraTrader is free, I think. Yeah, it is. Just hard to read. I had to change it. Yeah, I mean, I don't use the order flow, the free one from NT, but it is available. Exactly, Joe. Exactly. If NQ is dead, why not look at other markets? Well, I've made my money. I wouldn't say it's dead. And I like the personality of NQ. I've learnt the personality of NQ. I'm very comfortable trading it. And half the reason I trade futures and not trade lots of small caps and large caps is I don't want to keep having to change my screens and looking around and losing focus and understanding the different lot size and the different reward per lot size, per tick, etc., etc. So I feel comfortable here, so I stay here. It's what I'm good at. Here it goes. So there's the 30s. Here's previous week close, tap into 38. This grey line here. And once you get through that, you got IB high. There's a big node up here, which is where I was trying to lift through. So we were trying to trade from here to there. I failed you doing that. We got this, and we went sideways so long I lost interest. But this dip here into this node held, and we reclaimed this node, and we should now come up into this. And if we get acceptance above that, you got previous week high and an old value area way up higher. But if you're still long in this, I would trim a little bit into 50s if you can get there, and then see if you can get acceptance above. If you're very, 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 very lucky today, you'll get 26,044s up here. There's a probability that if it makes a new high of day, the probability is 67% that it will search for low of day on the same day. I very, very, very much would doubt that today. Unless you mean low of day in the New York session, I absolutely have. I can almost guarantee you it's not coming back down to here. It's just not happening. So I don't know why they've said that. Maybe you mean of the New York session. If you make a new high of day, comes back down to low of day of New York session. Even that I find hard to believe. We've had no acceptance outside of initial balance high. I find it highly improbable that we come down to here again. Maybe we do a false break and we trade inside of range, but I'd find it very unlikely that we trade down to here, and I'd say almost 99.9% chance we would not come down to here today and close this gap. Why would it suddenly want to do a 400-point trade downside after a squeeze out? But maybe they're referring to something different. Maybe they mean the New York session. New York. Okay, there we go, Dean. Okay, New York session. New York session makes sense to me. That's Possible, because we're talking only about 100 points, right? That makes sense to me. That's possible. That's possible. All right, 7 minutes left, folks. I can't see this going anywhere. I might get off early here, unless you guys have got any more questions for me. There's not another trade setup I'm looking at here. We're inside of balance. We're inside of initial balance. We're drifting higher. We've had the trades today out of the locations. Remember, these are the locations we had on before the market opened. We were looking for, what was it? 70 to 30 was the first level, and then down here if not. All right, so we would dip long here, we would dip long here, and then we were waiting for the trap and long here. Those are the three plays. They were planned out pre-market. You can go back 9:15 to 9:30 this morning. Look at what I was looking at. Made that very clear. What's the purple line? That's the initial balance, all right? That's your high of day, basically. All right, that's 9:30 to 10:30. 10:30. All right, that's the IB. So it's the first hours of trading. All right, guys, I'm going to take a break. I need a mental break here as well. I find this quite exhausting at the moment. And those in Discord, I'll try and pop in later. I'm going to go and walk my dog and get a coffee and have a rest from the screens, right? I've got to build up my resilience to doing this again. It's a hard job. And sometimes my mental health is not always in the right place to do this job, but I want to turn up for you either way. All right, so big love, everyone. It's the initial balance and indicator. I'm sure you can get a free indicator for it. You can plot it manually. It's your high and low 9:30 to 10:30, but it comes for free in the Flow Zone Pro. Everything you're looking at here outside of volume is one indicator. It's my Flow Zone Pro. Okay, you can check it out on the website, flowzonetrader.com. Yeah, it's exactly what I'm really enjoying. I'm listening to the old Ricky Gervais podcasts from like 20 years ago at the moment, from his XFM days. All right, peace and love, everyone. Be kind to each other. All right, look after each other. Use hard stops. Remember, your first stop's your best stop. Take care.